here, podcast land. It's your favorite BX in Baltimore baddies.
And you know
So,
it.
welcome back to another episode of Who Woke the Savage. I'm your girl, Miss Well and Woke, aka Day from Around the Way.
And I'm your girl, Lady.A.Savage.
Woo!
Trying to tell you, you be ready with the dances.
I'm telling you, hey, there,
You gonna dance your pain away, ain't you?
What? Dance my pain away. I got my
What?
Like, look.
Instantly.
But no.
That's what happened. Don't even start it.
Look, I wouldn't want to be an adult in this world if I could not still dance and sing at random times. Like, I just break out into random song and dance all the time. It fills my heart with joy.
That's a fact. Music will help you go a long way in the adult world. I learned that. Music will help you go a long way in the adult world.
It's a song for everything. Like, I'm telling you, like you ever seen that little stick figure that when it's sitting in the car and it's like, push it. Go get the money. Yes. That's how I feel when it's time to go to work. Like,
try to push you through. Yeah.
Trying to push me through. Right? Like, so
no, seriously.
I was like, yes, it matches my energy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we feeling out here in adult land. Speaking of adult land, friend, because we always say this is now officially part 250 of Life is Lifing, special adult edition.
Yes,
right.
We're probably definitely on 250.
So I'm gonna ask you, homie, what lie about adulthood did you believe as a kid? Because I got a few. I drank the Kool-Aid.
You got a few? Okay.
I got a few.
I ain't gonna lie. I never really thought about that. But if I had to, off the rip, college. I was made to believe if you go to college, your life was going to be made. Everything was going to get figured out. You was going to go to college, you was going to graduate, and when you got out, you was going to be everything you needed to be. You was going to have a house, the dream. You was going to have a career. You was going to be set. That's how I feel like it was told to you as a child in the adult world. And then you get to college, and then you get the degree. And let me tell you, I know people that had degrees that legitly couldn't even get a job at McDonald's. Like, was out here like that's struggling, like couldn't get anything in their career field because remind you have the degree, but you don't have the experience. So they not hiring you because you don't have the experience. But then when you try to apply to other jobs, you have too much education. So we can't really hire you either because at McDonald's, you're a little too educated. So we can't really hire you here either. But you just try and get the money by any means. So you're willing to work anyway until you get it figured out. And I feel like we were told, like, go to college, you're going to get your career, everything going to be set. And I feel like that,
Scam like me. There should be a disclaimer placed on college. And I will say this. Like, I strongly encourage people to access education for whatever it looks like for you, whether that's going to university or going into a trade, or if you're going to go in the military, if you want to learn something, I strongly encourage it. But I do feel like you got to invest time and money equally into anything that you want to be successful at. And that's the issue that people don't say, right? A lot of people went to college and they like, yo, I could party all 4 years. I don't really got to declare a major. Or they declare majors and things that don't make no money. Let's call a spade a spade. If I had to do this all over again, I would get into computer science. I'd be a mathematician. I'll be an architect. I'll be building bridges and shit. I would pick an area that I know makes bank over bank. Like I'm saying, Jesus was a carpenter. We should have knew that was worth some coin. We all had to figure it out.
You know what?
Like,
don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm just.
You said he led the way.
It was already,
you said
it was in the good book.
He opened the door.
It was in the good book.
You said
okay.
You said did you not see the signs?
Get crafty. He told us to invent. He told us to create. Okay. And so that's how I kind of feel about that. Like, I honestly, and I would say the other caveat to that about adulting being a scam in that regard, I think that what we were taught as women, very different than maybe some of the young men around us, the concept around marriage and children. Now, look. I don't want the people out there to get me twisted. I think that
Don't
marriage
get stoned.
and children are beautiful things. But I think that the timeline that was created around marriage and children looked very different. When we were kids,
Was
we
a
all
scam.
played like bride and groom. We all played house and all of that good stuff. And you thought it was easy. Mommy, daddy, job, things, cars, all come together. Now, you may have some of those things in combination. Like you may have the kids, you may have
The
the
kid
car
and
and the
no
house.
daddy.
I don't know trying to find Waldo, right? But it's different
That's
moving
fact.
pieces because now we're learning that there's a different process to the whole idea around like raising children too, and that's not easy. Like we all used to run around with little doll babies and feel like if you carried it on your hip and fed it food, it was enough to take care of a child. Daycare, what people be paying like $300 a week just to put their kids in childcare. It ain't the same thing. I didn't know. Bless your hearts, but I didn't know people was giving it up like that. So
Let me
I
tell
will say
you,
that that was another part of
baby,
adulting that we were not prepared for.
they coughing it up. That's true though. I feel like we weren't prepared for that because, like you said, it was definitely one of those things where it was kind of like, hey, you're going to grow up and get the husband, and you're going to get the car, and you're going to get the kids, and it's going to fall in line. You're going to get the husband and the kids, and then you get the car and the house, and everything's going to be fine. And it's like you said, you might get one, but you might not get the other. But also, I feel like another scam too was the timeline. I feel like we were pushed to believe that all this had to be done by a certain time. That like within this time frame, you should already have it already done and figured out. Like, oh, by 30, you should already have the car, the house, the husband, the kids. Everything should be done by 30. And I feel like that's another thing that has been pushed on us too, this time clock.
Let me tell you. Let's listen to what was the game that we used to play as kids? First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes
marriage.
The baby carriage.
Yeah.
We used to play games that we thought it was like just a chronological order of events. Like this is what's supposed to be happening, how it's supposed to happen. And you get older and you learn that life is not one size fits all. That there's so many different things that come with that. That there's things that come with the love, things that come with the marriage, things that come with the baby that you may not always plan for.
For sure.
That you have to learn how to reinvent and recreate and grow as a person to experience those things. So I will say, yeah, like I feel like now that version of adulthood has left my mind and I have like a new philosophy around what that looks like.
No, that's a fact. Because I'm trying to tell you, that one there, and I feel like it goes both ways. I feel like it goes for men too. I feel like with men, they were told one scam too. I feel like men were told a scam and women were told a scam too. We both were scammed on both ends.
Yep.
I feel like with men, they made it seem like it was just going to be this easy road. You're going to find a wife, you're going to take care of her, and everything's going to go right. Just go ahead and everything's going to go the way it's supposed to go. Everybody got scammed. As far as I'm concerned, everybody got a little scammed.
Well, you know what? I think that's like a part of the blunder too, is about finances, right? Like we had this conversation in the previous season about like the lessons that we learned about money and how that really looks, right? They say money doesn't grow on trees. Bullshit. Money's made out of trees, right? Okay. Some people just using them trees in other ways and it's not making the money the same way. But hey, that's a story for another day.
That's right.
But that's the reality. Like,
I know for me too, I feel like another scam was, I feel like as a kid, knowing as adulthood now, I feel like freedom. I feel like it was told like, oh, become adult and you have this freedom. And I feel like I was more free as a child. I feel like I had more luxury as a child. I'm not going to lie. I feel like looking at it now with these adult eyes, the luxury and freedom as a child was a little more free than it is now. I feel like it's this freedom that they told you had. But I feel like you have a certain freedom to do certain things, but not realizing what comes with that. The responsibility that comes with the freedom.
Keep it a bean. I stopped pledging allegiance in this country when I was age 9 because I didn't buy into that. I gave up on that freedom dream a long time ago. It didn't make sense to me. The minute people were policing my actions by telling me when to sit in the seat, how to keep my hands crossed, when I could go to the bathroom and all of that stuff, I knew we wasn't free. So like that we didn't have those same liberties. You should be able to get around, grab water, go grab food off the shelf, feed yourself. And because I knew we couldn't do those things without having to pay money, without having permission to do certain things in this life, I didn't buy into that. Like I said, the home of the free and the brave, I wasn't singing any of that shit. I wasn't pledging any of that because I knew that it wasn't true. So that's one thing. They didn't get me with the jokes on that one.
Well, when I say freedom, when I say adult freedom, I mean like how like you know how like when you're in that, I'm gonna say that good 13 to 17 phase. Where
Oh,
you're
when you
like,
smelling
you
yourself.
starting to smell you. Yes, when you starting to smell yourself, you knew what I was gonna say. When you starting to smell yourself a little bit, and you like, when I become an adult, I can do what I want and da 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 da. And it's this picture in your mind that the moment you turn 18, you gonna have this freedom that you didn't have as a kid. But what you don't know is when you turn 18, it's a whole different responsibility that comes with that freedom. And like I said, we talked about this last time. If I go back to that time, if I could go back to when somebody was wiping my ass and feeding me and paying all the bills, God damn it, take me back. Take me back, Lord. Take me
Let me
back.
tell you,
I go back to when my
that
mom was wiping my ass and paying all the bills.
that
I go back,
freedom,
God damn it.
look, that freedom looks so good when you were spending somebody else's money. Like I will admit, I was my mother's broke best friend. I love being my
Girl,
mommy's broke best friend back in the day.
what?
Okay,
Oh, when I see the post that women make, like, oh, I'm out with my broke best friend, please take me back, Lord. Take me back. Take me back to being the broke best friend. Take me back. Well, like I said, somebody wiped my
you
ass. I
and
was
me
taking
must
naps.
never
Somebody
part.
was feeding me. What? Somebody was feeding me, going to
Like
the grocery store saying, hey, pick out what you want off the shelves. Take me back, Lord. Take me back. Paying for vacations. Oh, now I got to pay for my own
what
vacation, Lord Jesus
vacations?
Christ. What?
You
I
know,
got to pay for me and I might got to pay for you.
let me
No.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Me and you have this conversation all the time, and I think this is because we grew up with the extension of this blessing, right? Having culturally
Mm-hmm.
aware parents, people who poured into us,
Yes.
we were blessed enough to experience vacation. When I tell you, my mother believed that we had to go on vacation every year. I don't remember a year that I was on this earth since I came into this world
That's
that I did not travel.
That's right.
And I know plenty of people may not be able to say the same, but that was my reality. My mother believed that if you work hard all year, you deserve to
Play
play
hard.
hard too. So I have never spent
Mm-hmm.
a year in my life where I've sat my ass down and did not enjoy the luxuries of travel or some type of experience where I was able to have release and reprieve. And and I'm saying I want that for everybody. That may not be everybody's situation.
Yeah.
Do what you can afford.
But I will say,
Do what your time allows.
but experience if you can. Because I will say that is one thing where I know on both our ends, because I know your mother and you know mine. So I know on both our ends, it's one of those things where, like, that is something I will thank my mother about. That I can say, like, early. Like, when people ask me, like, places I've been, I touched a lot of these places before I was even 15. Before I was 15, I could say, oh, I touched Japan. I touched these places. I did all this. And so it was one of those things, like you said, I know as a kid, too. It's not a year where we're going on a vacation. Like, it was to the point, like, yearly. I know, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas, we weren't here. That was our travel holidays automatically. And that doesn't even count other trips that may be already planned. So it was just a
All
thing, and
right.
it was a family thing. And it happened every year. So I feel like it becomes a thing because now, even I know, like, in our grown age, like, we'll have conversations where we're like, so what trip are we doing this year? Like, something has to happen every year. Because I know, like, 2026 is a traveling year. Easy travel
I'm
year.
telling.
But, like, every year we're kind of like, oh, what are we doing? Like, we'll be like, oh, what's our trip for this year? We didn't plan a trip this year. What's our trip for this year? What's our friend trip?
And we always speak about this. At this point, I need at least a minimum of 3 trips a year. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I said, I work hard enough
You said
to
a
be able
word.
to
No, it's not.
maintain that. Like, but a minimum of 3. And some be true. I get questions about this all of the time, which probably is going to bring me to this next question, homie, which is, how do you balance it out?
I'm
Like
going to
the
tell
working
you.
to survive versus the living to enjoy part of life.
I'm going to tell you. Before you get there, I'm going to tell you. You said a whole word with them 3 weeks. You said a whole word with them 3 trips. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I need one trip that's a weekend to 4-day trip. I need another week, a trip that's about a weekend to 4 to 5 days. And I need 1 week. I need one trip that's a week. 3 trips. Now, I might do about 5, but I need at least 3 that's a week. And the other 2 got to be between 3 to 4 days. And no matter where I'm going, but I'm going to touch down there for
I'm
about
telling
3 to 4
you.
days.
That's what I'm saying. Because I like to celebrate the long weekends. I like to celebrate a whole week. And I'm going to tell you, there's
The one with
always,
the
I got to
holidays?
celebrate the holiday. And especially, I always say, our birthdays are national holidays. I tell you, I feel like I'm on everybody's calendar. Even if I'm not, I'm on everybody's calendar. That's something like I have to
You
get
already
stuck in.
know.
I'm not one of those people. I don't work on my birthday. There's not a single job that I've been at where I look at them strange in the face. I look at them real close and I'm like, don't expect me to be here. I don't care what it is, what the situation is, on call, not on call, emergency,
Not
crisis.
doing it.
I'm not here. That's the holiday.
When I tell
I'm
you,
clocking off.
I
Religious
be
observance at
tripping.
that point. I'm not going.
I be tripping when I go to work and I see people that legitimately be like, "Oh, we're walking in such and such. That's because it's her birthday. She here today?" Because I'm gonna tell you now, not only am I not here today, I'm not here, I'm not there, I'm not anywhere, I'm not over there, I'm not on a train, I'm not on a boat, I'm not on a plane. Call me Dr. Seuss. I'm not nowhere. I'm so far away from y'all can't even call me. Don't call me, I'm gonna leave. Don't do that.
That's it.
And the
That's
people
it. That's
really will go
all.
to work and even if I don't have plans, I will not just be here. I can be in my bed sleep. I just won't be here though. But like you said, we
Now,
make our birthday movies. Our birthday are movies. We
you
gotta make a show. Expect it gotta be a
but
thing.
but you know what? Like I said, I was raised and blessed enough to experience that. Like as a part of it, my enjoyment was that I'm a summer baby, and so my family always made me feel like it was.
Yeah.
We would go by the water, we would go to the beach, we would be traveling around that. So it was just always something that I was used to. So I feel like that's like a lived experience, and I know that for some people, it's hard for them to take a day off because they feel like, hey, look, I can't get no true rest if I'm not making money. Like my sister and myself are very different. My sister actually shares this with me all of the time. She does not like the idea of vacation because she's like, when you go on vacation, you come back to all of the stress. It hits you like a ton of bricks, right? So I was like, girl, what? Look, I'm just gonna take another vacation
I
after that.
mean,
That's how I feel about it. That's my cure for it. I get stressed out, I gotta go away again. But she was like, no, some people find the concept of like repetitive travel overwhelming if they feel like they left a lot of things on the table that have to get complete
I heard that
as soon
before
as they
though.
come back. So I get it, So different
Yeah,
strokes, different folks.
I've heard that before. Yeah, I've definitely heard that before where people feel like they don't want to take the break because they feel like if I take the break, I got to come back to all this work. I got to come back. I left this hanging and I did this and such called me and I got to talk to these people, whatever, whatever. But I know for me, I don't give a damn about none of that. But like you said, different strokes, but I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm going to take the vacation and what's going to end up happening is when I come back for 2 days, I'm going to do not disturb because I'm going to catch up on everything for them 2 days and then holler at me by the third day and we got it. And if I feel stressed, maybe I won't show up the next Monday or Tuesday. But it's that, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But like you said, we're fortunate enough where summer babies were this. I know I'm a holiday baby. So my birthday always falls like on a holiday. So I'm always gonna get my way one way or another. I'm gonna figure it out one way or another. I'm gonna get my way because I'm a holiday baby.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. But I do like when I was saying to you, like the idea around balancing that in terms of survival. There's certain things that we have to do every day, right? You know what I'm saying? I know that I got to get up. I'm not at
Thanks.
that point in life where I don't have to get up and grind and make it happen. But I do have to like keep a situation where everything is evenly yoked because it's important to equate our life to balance. And that's so like, when I say important, very, very, very important. Like I would not be one of these people
For
out
sure.
here who are just living young, wild, and free with no source of income because I'm always amazed. I try to figure out how other people do it. There are times where I know that I am off for the day and I'll go out into the world. You ever question this? And I'm like, why are there so many people outside? Like, y'all, nobody else got work today? What are all of y'all doing? Everybody just buying steaks and
First of
lobster. They
all,
just frivolously hanging out in the street. Like, I couldn't live my life like that if I
I didn't
didn't know that there
question
was some type of balance.
Girl, I don't question that. You ever like took a day off, like, and was like, you know what? I'm gonna go like to like a hotel or like a spa or anything. It don't matter. And you'll be like, why is there so many kids? And did everybody not take their kid to school today? Like, did everybody
That
decide we wanted to have a free day today? Like, you'd be like, just nobody did nothing today. Like, I thought I was just
right?
the only one. Like, it might be a
It,
couple
it
of us. I just didn't know it was all of us.
it be a Wednesday, and I'm like, everybody out here, why the store so crowded? I thought I was in the mall by myself. Why y'all all here? What y'all doing? Like
Nope.
it became
Nobody went to
confusing
work.
to me because and that's why I said I've always been a person, and I think like you and me, we both share that alike. Like you got to take care of business first. That's like hands down. I'm gonna make sure business gets taken care of first before I go out in the world and just cut up. You know what I'm saying? So I think people
That's
have
right.
a misrepresentation when they see certain things. Like, I've had people come up to me and they be like, "Girl, every time I turn around, you somewhere," and I'm like, "And is, and do, and I am." Period, poo.
Yep,
But the
for sure.
reality of that is because of the time that I dedicate, like just spending time, like not just tailoring to my craft and making other things happen and taking care of family and just making a lot of shit bust that needs to get done. Then when you do see me travel,
So
know that that's valuable, calm down, enjoyment time. I deserve that rest. I need that. That's mine. Own that.
so is that so is that how you balance working to survive versus living to enjoy?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna say it just like that. Like I said,
Oh
it
wow.
ain't in me, but it's on me. I'm telling you, it's one of those situations where I felt like if I'm going to work my absolute hardest, because I do believe in giving 110% to the stuff that I do, then I have to carve out time for myself. And how that looks is I need those 3 vacations. I don't take it as a luxury just to say I want them. I'm always having this battle with
Mm-hmm.
people. Taking the 3 vacations, a minimum a year, is a necessity for my survival. I don't want to go out of my
That's it.
mind, out of my dobby. Okay? If y'all don't want me running around the street slapping the shit out of everybody I see, then let
Losing
me
my
have my
shit.
3 vacations a year.
If you don't want me losing my shit, act like you got some goddamn sense. That's all. Let me do what I need to do for me. And I legitly, like, seriously speaking, I had this conversation with people all the time. Sometimes, if somebody needs that time, no matter what it looks like, if it's traveling, if it's going to the nail salon, if it's going to the spa, if it's like you said, just driving and you don't know where you're going, if it's like we talked, if it's eating
Mm-hmm.
your crab legs with your drink, let me do whatever the fuck I need to do to make sure I don't have to strangle nobody. Because like we said, we
Girl,
on
let me tell you
episode
one.
150 of Life is Life.
I was talking to one of my guy friends, and I was saying to him that I'm shopping for a new gym, right? So I'm an LA fitnesser. I love going to the gym. That's like a
Oh,
part of
wow.
my routine. I tell people I'm one of those people. Plus size fitness is lit. Okay, big girls don't just go to the gym because they're trying to lose weight. They also go for their sanity. Okay, so I'm one of those. And I was
Mm-hmm.
sharing with this person, I can't go to a gym that doesn't have a pool. And they were like, "What does a pool have to do with going to the gym?" I was like, "No, no, no. You got to understand me. After I work out, I like to swim and I like to sauna. It's a package deal.
True.
I gotta get my
Mm-hmm.
heart rate all the way up and I gotta calm it all the way down. And it became a practice for me. It's like I feel like I have to have a gym that almost has spa ailments to it. If that's what I'm paying for,
Okay.
that's what I want. But I want the whole luxury
And that's your
experience. And I was
preference.
having that conversation. Yeah, and the guy was like, "Oh, well, you know what? I just kind of like go run around outside." I was like, "And that's cool. I like a good walk.
That's you.
I got a little sprint."
That's you.
But I was like, but for me, the part of the gym that I like that makes me feel like it's balancing out my life is the fact that I get to submerge in water, exercise, sweat it out, and I feel like I have a complete experience that makes me feel like I'm re-engaging in the world. Like I could snap back into reality and be like, now I could get some more work done. Now I'm prepped for the
But
next
I
day,
feel like,
you know? So
yeah. I feel like also people understand, like you said, different strokes for different folks. For him, it might be running, walking, and sprinting and doing whatever he does. But for you, it might be like you said, that we're water people. So for water people, sometimes that is a relaxation in itself. And in the process, like you said, you working out, you doing this, that, and the third. We're water people. We talk about this all the time. Where there's water, we're touching it.
that's it.
So that's a
That's my
whole nother
center. That's
piece
my
breaker for
core.
you. Yeah, that's a whole nother piece breaker for you. So, like you said, it works for you to do this, but for you, it works to do, water and sauna. And I feel that because let me tell you, after you done worked out, did all this, bust your ass and everything else, to sit in a sauna, to sit on one of them massage beds, to sit on something, just to sit and let something go over you, that heat, even sometimes, and I know some people are against it, but even like the cold plunge, sometimes just to sit in that cold,
Yes.
depending on, whatever. Yeah.
Like I said, first of all, those things are like shocks to your nervous system that help you regroup. So, like I said, it's beneficial all
Mm-hmm.
around. But a lot of people, when they say like, "Hey, what are the things?" I don't have to leave the state or the country to have access to basic luxuries, and that's one of those things that I don't
That's
mind
facts.
paying for. And I tell people that all of the time. If I don't do anything else, I still have to pay for basic luxuries in my everyday that allow me to be comfortable and relaxed. That's just my thing. And I
Friend,
know that is like you
we
said.
talk about this. I'm going to always pay for convenience. Every time. Every time I'm
Ooh,
going to pay for convenience. I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm going to pay for convenience. If I want it and I need it, I'm paying for it. If the parking garage is all the way over here, guess what? I guess I'm paying for valet. If we at a hotel and this hotel is closer to this, guess what? I guess we're paying for this hotel because we're paying for convenience. Oh, well, if it costs $200 for the bundle, but it comes with this, this, and this. I'm paying for the convenience. Give me the $200 and put the extra 50 on because that comes with something else. I'm always going to pay for convenience. If I got it, God bless. If I keep the ways and the means, I'm gonna pay for convenience.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a real one, but I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna get a "It's Okay to Be Bougie" T-shirt because when I moved out of a place that had a dishwasher, and then I didn't have no dishwasher, I think I almost had a nervous breakdown. Okay, because
You
I
almost
was
broke.
like,
Your
"What are we
spirit, something
doing?
you almost collapsed. Something
What are we
almost
doing?"
collapsed in you, didn't it?
I was like, "I gotta
Collapsed.
spend
Your
time doing
chest
what?
almost caved
Doing
in.
what? What's happening?" Like full blown. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Like this.
Do you
No,
know?
because
I'm gonna tell you what I feel about that. I feel about that about washing and dryers. I could never live anywhere where a washer and dryer is not in my house. Like I need it in the house. I don't need it in the building. I want it in my house. I've always had, and like I said, praise mama and everybody else. I've always had a washer and dryer in my house. If my house does not have a washer and dryer, we can't talk about it because the convenience of knowing that all I have to do
it's the
is
convenience.
grab my stuff and just dump it right in that little laundry room is all I need. I cannot have a like. I'm not trying to
You
fight
know, people
nobody for
really
the
say
dryer. I'm not
this.
trying to fight nobody.
I'm gonna keep it a being like I think people really say this that convenience is enough of a motivator. If you want to have certain things that you enjoy having access to, I do feel like you should work that much harder to maintain it. Like convenience can be a motivator. Like I'm one of those people. Like if this is what I'm used to, I have to continue to grind in the capacity that allows me to continue to have access to those things. And some people struggle with that. And it's a difference between somebody giving it to you, even though we were fortunate enough to have some access. I was always
Yes.
taught the value of hard work. Like you only have this because mom and pops work. You know what I'm saying? It came off the back of people that worked. So you got to work too. And that's the part of adulthood that I didn't understand. I never felt as a child that a part of adulting would be me having the luxury of not working. Like I never felt like I was going to be a kick up my feet, somebody going to
Mm.
take care of it type of adult. I always knew that a part of growing up was going to be putting in effort and making stuff happen so
So
I
let
can
me
enjoy those basic luxuries.
so let me ask you this: what's one adulting hack that you wish you knew earlier?
Yo, man, let me tell you something right now. Like, I, yeah, okay. So back in the day, I used to see people collecting change and things like that. Like, people used to have those little USA maps where they were saving quarters and whatever the case is. They used to have the little jars that they were saving their change. And I'm not even
Mm-hmm.
gonna stunt. I was one of those kids. Like, if I dropped change, I just skipped over it. Like, if a quarter or two fell out my pocket, I'd be like, "Oh, it's not that deep," and I'm not even gonna hold. There were times that I knew change saved my life. I ain't gonna hold you. There was times where a quarter, 50-cent bag of chips revitalized your girl. Okay? If you grew up in New York like I grew up, $1.25 got you some Kennedy French fries, and y'all already know, real ones know what they did out here. But I was frivolous
Baby,
with the
we're not gonna
change.
talk
Like
about
I
it.
wasn't picking
Okay.
up,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't picking up a nickel. I wasn't picking up a penny. I wasn't worried about it. If I knew what I know now, baby, if a quarter rolls away from me, let me get the change because it's going in the jar. I wish that I was counting change back from when I was a little shorty. People don't even realize stuff like that because that
Mm-hmm.
equates to money. It adds up. And that's like I said,
It
that's one of
does.
those life hacks that I used to see my grandma and them do. You see the old folks. The old folks used to monitor and save their change and be like, all of that. You break a dollar, you put that change in the bank, you do something with it. I'm now that adult. I'm that adult.
So
Don't
I'll
drop a
say for
quarter in my
me,
car because it's in a jar.
and you gonna say it's safe. I'll say for me, I'll say it kind of piggybacks off of what you're saying, but I would say saving in general, right? So I feel like as an adult, I feel like, and this has happened to a lot of people as kids or younger, younger generation. You run into money, and when I say you run into money, I mean you run into a lump sum of money at an early age. Most people can say they probably ran into a lump sum of money at an early age, whether it been a car accident, whether it been somebody passed and you was on something and got some money, whatever. And I feel like as an adult, you're told to save, to save, to save, but you don't hear that. All you know is you got this $5,000. And guess what? I got something I want to buy. I want to get this. I want to get these clothes. I want to get this. I want to get that. And if I knew what I knew now, I'm telling you, some of the money I ran into as in my younger self would still have it and have it put somewhere in my adult self.
I can remember my first purchase. When I was 16, I got my first job. And I remember the first thing I ran out and bought with my money. I bought $350 shoes. I ain't even gonna hold nobody.
Crazy.
I was
Crazy
like,
work.
baby, I want
Crazy
the
work.
baddest shoes on the block, baby. I want the baddest heels on the
Diabolical.
block. And
Diabolical.
and I didn't give a damn what else I could have been doing with that money, where I could have put that money. I wasn't thinking like, oh, save this for college books. When that time rolled around and I had to buy college books, I was like, what am I gonna do? But I was like, when I got that check for the first time, I was like, it's my money, it's my rules, it's what I want to do with this money. Nobody can control this situation. And there's a big thing out in this world, especially a lot of people of color do. It's called peacocking, right? And a lot of Black people, we aspire to have certain luxuries in life that we weren't always able to gain access to. And I wanted expensive shoes, right? That's really one of those things. And I felt like I didn't always have that when I was growing up. I always had good things, nice things, but I didn't always have those specific things that I really, really wanted, that my mom and daddy was not coming up off the coin for. Like, what you need, you 16, what you need, $300, $100 type shoes. So when I got the opportunity to do, that's what I yielded my money. Like I said, being the adult that I am now, granted, I like to afford the luxury of nice things. I wouldn't have made that same move. No. I would have realized and that's why, what that money could have been.
And that's what I'm saying, like, because me and my cousin have that conversation all the time, right? We're like, he know the money I ran into, and I know money he's ran into, you know what I mean? And we have this conversation all the time. One of my cousins, let me say that. We had this conversation all the time where I'm like, when that money came, when I tell you, it was like, oh, we going to the mall, we shopping, we doing this, we doing that, we balling out. And like you said, it wasn't even just $350 shoes. I mean, I don't give a damn what it is. We look like drug dealers. We running in the Foot Locker. Fuck it, drop 1,000. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. We don't care. Yeah, like that's what's happening for real. Because it was one of those things where I'm like, if I knew what I knew now, when that type of money hits your hand, I get it. I'm not saying don't treat yourself. By all means, we just talked about that. But put something to the side. You ain't got to feel like you got to blow the whole bag. So if I knew what I knew now, when older people say, save your money, put your money to the side, get a CD, do all these things. When they tell you all these tricks and trades, I know now that that's something that needs to be listened to. That's something that you need to really tune into, because it's so much money I can say that I had blew through. I remember one time that I was talking to this guy, and I swear to God, he said to me that I know for a fact I have touched over $1 million. He said, I know I have touched over $1 million, and I have blown over $1 million. He said, so to know that I have like pretty much blew through $1 million is crazy work, because it's so much stuff I could be doing in my adult years if I saved it.
In this lifetime, we will all see $1 million. That's just like the way the currency works. Despite what you may make on a weekly, annual basis, everybody will eventually see $1 million. What you do with your finances, even in small part, just from something simple like the food that you buy, the things that you pay for, if you moved your money a certain way, you will see it work better for you. Now, I'm not going to say that there's not like income disparities that exist, because there are many of those things that exist in this world that do make it hard to see like how to make $1 out of 15 cents. But the reality is, in this lifetime, you will make it to $1 million. Maybe not all in one lump sum, but you will come across it. I thought about what I saw Kevin McCall say about Chris Brown. So Chris Brown and, Kevin McCall were arguing over money because he asked, he asked Chris Brown to come off the coin. And then I watched a video where Kevin McCall admitted to blowing through $8 million. And I think that's because of a lack of financial literacy. He was like, I did ridiculous stuff. And he went from like, I had $8 million that I could honestly say I had in a check. I had over 6 figures in a check easy. Over 7 figures in a check easy, he was saying. And he was like legitimately, I ended up going back on food stamps 3 times, even though I touched $8 million.
He pulled out the card.
He pulled out
the food stamp card.
And
my man said, "You think it's a game?"
Question, like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that that's just like going back to that concept that we mentioned around people peacocking and just feeling like what they look like and what they have is more so than what they actually can accumulate that'll take them over a long period of time. Longevity's in the dirt. When you buy things that are assets, they increase, right? They don't depreciate with value.
That's right.
When you buy simple, silly shit that means nothing, it's disposable. It's not going to work for you in the future. Some of the wealthiest people in the world, they're walking around in one pair of blue jeans and one white t-shirt, and they're billionaires, and you would never know it. But there's the brokest person out in the hood right now who is wearing every designer top to bottom,
Gucci'd out,
and they trying to figure out how to keep it on their body. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and yes, I love a good label. I ain't even gonna stunt, okay, baby. I like to put it on.
That's the New York in you.
But,
that's the New York in you. That's the New York in you.
That's the New York in me. You know what I'm saying? But the reality of it is I did learn more economic practices. I had to learn better financial practices that allow me to do what I want to do, but also get the things that I need to get accomplished. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want no GoFundMe when I'm old. And at that point, I don't want nobody having to say like, hey, we got to make a page because she didn't handle her finances the correct way. And we got to figure out what we're going to do.
Because we don't know how
you know what I'm saying?
We don't know how we going to bury her. We don't know how we going to bury her. We don't know how we going to put her in the ground. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said if I knew what I knew today, I'm telling you now, a lot more money would be saved. A lot more money would be somewhere. Because like you said, what we not going to have, I don't need the embarrassment of, go hit the GoFundMe link because we don't know how we going to bury her. We don't know what we going to do. We don't know how we going to pay for the chicken for the repast. Lord, please help us.
Let me tell you something. No. Cheap is an insulting word, right? I think cheap is an insulting word, but the word frugal, I think is such a well-placed word. I used to see my grandmother freeze bread, right? And I used to be like, why are you freezing the bread, girl? Like, we could just get you another loaf. Like, what you doing? Why are you freezing the bread? And I didn't understand the concept of it because in my house, we didn't freeze bread. That's just not something that we did. If the bread went bad, you bought new bread, right? You know, it was simple. Now being somebody who has to govern all my own finances and make sure that I'm keeping an abundance of food in the house, I get why she was freezing the bread because she felt like it helped it last longer. So you weren't constantly throwing out money, wasting food, and having to rebuy the same thing. And it was like a lesson that I didn't really receive until I got older. And now I'll call my grandmother and have that conversation with her. Girl, you know, I was like, coupons. I ain't even gonna tell you something, no lie. I didn't give a good goddamn about a coupon back in the day. Now, if somebody sent me a coupon in the mail, and if I remember that coupon, I'm going to run down on that joint, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to click it.
Let me tell you.
And I'm going to use it.
Not even just coupons. I got one back for you. Not even just coupons. Something go on sale. You ever see the sales, though? Like, when somebody be like, if you go here, it's 20% off of here, it's 50% off of here. Yeah, I'm in there.
You see, ever been one of those adults where you in the store making executive decisions? Like I said, back in the day, I was like, I feel like the luxury was like you go to the store with your family, you asking for different things in the shop. Can I get that? Can I get this? You're not paying attention to a sale. Now I'm standing in the house like this.
Take me back, Lord.
I'm like,
life decisions.
Salmon, whiting.
Do I get the giant brand or do I?
Right, like it's all the same.
You said, do I get the giant brand or do I get this?
Right, it's either Lay's or just chips. Right, chips or Lay's. Right?
Just chips. You said Lay's or potato chips.
I ain't even gonna sound like I remember.
Do you want Cheetos or do you just want cheddar curls?
She used to eat some cereal. I'm gonna tell y'all know what the Frosted Flake, Tony the Tiger, and all of that look like, right? She had some big white wiggly bear. If y'all ever heard
Frosty
of
Flakes
and Frosty Flakes, bro, with that big white polar bear that was on
Frosty?
the box? Okay,
Frosty Flakes.
I was like, I used to be like, Grandma, why you gotta do us like this? I ain't gonna tell you. Bomb cereal, extra sugar, and all of that stuff. But I was like, I'm now old enough to say, like, one thing I won't skirt on is there's always going to be name brand Scott's and Dove and Brownie in here. But if I had to go back and buy some Frosty Flakes to save $1, Frosty Flakes it is, people. Frosty Flakes it is.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't there, friend. I ain't there, friend. Me and my cousin, I ain't gonna hold you. Me and my female cousin talk about this all the time. I can dumb down some stuff. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I'm making pasta, I don't need the name brand pasta. I can get the Food Line brand. I don't give a damn. But I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not eating nobody Frosty Flakes. I'm not eating nobody Fruity Loops. I'm not eating no. I'm not eating nobody pranks because they ain't got tricks.
Yeah.
I'm not eating. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not eating nobody's cookie. I'm not eating nobody's cookies and cream because you don't get Oreos. I'm not doing that. I'm
Let me
not doing
say
that
something right
I'm
now.
not. I'm sorry.
What was a struggle meal that you had back in the day that you would never eat now, or what's one that you would eat now that goes on the
Okay,
meal
I tell you what I'm.
improvements?
I tell you when I'm not eating. So I literally just talked about this with my cousin. I used to call it make a meal. So my grandmother, God rest her soul, my grandmother, you come in the house and be like, cause she cook dinner every day. No cap. She gonna cook dinner every day. You go in there and be like, what's for dinner? She would look you in your face and be like, so we had some leftover chicken in there and some noodles in the cabinet and a little bit of corn. And I had a little bit of string beans from the other day. And then, we still had that little bit of dressing that was in there. And I just put it all together. And this was for dinner. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that because you just made a meal. It don't even make sense. You ain't like, it's just like she just put shit together. One time I came in there, she's like, we had some tuna fish and we had a little bit of rasta pasta up in there. I just put the pasta with the tuna fish and we had a little balsamic dressing. I put the balsamic dressing in there. But I'm not eating that. I'm not eating no make a meal. I'm not
Let
eating
me
no
tell
make a
you.
meal. I'm not doing that.
Can I tell you? I was protesting so hard when I was a kid. I went to this church camp, and they was like, "Oh, this chef makes the best food." This lady was opening up cans of corned beef hash and corn and some noodles, and she was. I'm not even gonna stunt. She was slapping that shit together. Shout out to that lady because she was slapping it together. But I was protesting. I was like, "I'm not eating this. What are y'all talking about? This is not meals. This is not culinary genius. This lady is opening whatever she got in the bag, and she's making miracles out of every Thanksgiving, like Tupac's mama did." I was not trying to eat that at all. But I will say that one of the struggle meals that I used to refuse, hand down, was like my pops. My pops was like spam.
Spam?
I could not do spam. Spam. Yes, I said spam. Like I said, imaginary ham, wish, government cheese, bologna, and stuff like that. Like my father liked spam. I could not do that. I could not do spam. I could not
I'm going
understand.
to
I
tell
used
you.
to cry real tears as a kid when my father would be like, "Oh, I made spam." Somebody call my mother.
You know the
Somebody
other
call my
one I
mother.
can't?
This.
I'm saying the other one I can't understand. And my aunt does. The Vienna sausages. I never. Mm-mm.
Ah, ah,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
no, no.
Mm-mm.
It's like you're cursing at
Mm-mm.
me. You're cursing at me. You're cursing at me.
Why are you yelling at me? Because I'm not eating that. I'm not eating your
I
spam
don't care how
sandwich.
hard it
I'm not
gets.
eating your little Vienna sausage. I don't care. I don't even care
Nope.
what you season it with or what you dipped it in. I
I
don't care if you
don't.
smothered it in red's hot, goddammit. I'm not eating that.
I don't
I'm not
care
eating that.
how hard it gets. Now I'm gonna tell you, in this day and age, like if we talked about struggle, and if I had to go to a quick, easy meal, I will heat up a cup of oodles and noodles. I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with a little cup of noodles. A cup of noodles can
I'm
hit the
telling you,
spot.
mine is the bowl. I get the bowls now. You know the ones where they get a little fancy. They
Yeah,
put
look,
little
yeah,
seasoning,
look,
the little or like the little
yeah,
teriyaki. You
yeah.
get a little
The
udon. You
little,
get a little
yeah,
udon noodle now.
little
You can get
spicy little
fancy.
udon noodle. Yeah, look.
Mm-hmm.
But me and my sister, we joke about this all the time. We was like, when people used to do Franks and beans. All right. When I tell you my big grown self, I don't got to see that shit at all. I don't got to see a single Frank and a bean and a rice. I don't care if you're giving me the veggie dog. I know
I ain't never
there's
liked
no
me.
pork
I ain't
on
never
my
liked beans.
fork.
So
Ain't no beef in my life. But when I tell you a struggle meal growing up, now no. Baby, no. Baby, no. No. But I, friend.
well, friend, we been in this one because I feel like the adulting has been real. Are we ready for the savage question?
Ready for the savage question time.
Savage question time. All right, friend. What's one thing you swore you would never do as a grown up, but now is low key your entire personality?
All right, so I'm gonna be so honest. Like as a kid, I was a big drop my book bag on the floor, leave it in the hallway type of person. Like I would. run through the house with my shoes on and get cussed out to the high heavens. Like my mother used to have to snatch me real good. And now I am that person. You cannot walk into my house without taking your shoes off. I have shoe covers near the door. You can't enter near my carpet. You can't scuff my don't dare come into my house with cheap shoes and scuff up my floor. Baby, I am such a stickler for that. Because like I have this thing now. I understand, mama, I understand you. I understand not tracking germs into your home because this is my sanctity. So that's a big one for me. Like I turned into that adult. I will cuss you out to the high heavens if you come into my home and you try to walk in my house with your shoes on.
I feel that. I got two. A strong two. They strong in my spirit. I'm gonna start with the first one. When I was younger, I would place my drink anywhere. And when I mean anywhere on the table, the refrigerator, your back, I don't give a damn. I would place it anywhere. When I tell you now, if you don't act like you got some sense and put a coaster down on my damn table.
Gang.
When I tell you, marble, wood, especially that wood. Oh, I got wood tables. You gonna put your drink on my wood table? What?
Frame.
I got marble. I got this. No, I'm not having it. And then on top of that, multiple coasters. You can pick a basic coaster. I don't give a damn what you pick. You can put a napkin down. Goddammit! Why did you put your drink down on my table like that? But I never understood that as a kid.
I got the Costa Rican round coaster, all of that. Like literally, I agree with you. I never understood that as a kid, the coaster thing. But now I almost got into a fight with somebody's son because I was like, "You tarnished the wood. This brand new wood fixture I got in here, and I got to get this all reupholstered and sanded out because you messed up the wood." Like it's like the things. I don't like watermarks on the furniture. None of that. You already know. I'm on people like y'all lucky I don't got it wrapped up in plastic. I keep my stuff covered. I don't play when it comes to the upholstery.
To the wood. You can't. You can't.
And it's crazy because I literally feel like I grew up with my mom saying that, like, you can't just play in the living room wasn't a play space. I didn't even know why we had a living room because I was like, wow, we ain't allowed to be in there. Like, I don't know what we're doing with this. I thought you were supposed to live in the room. It wasn't a thing. You had to be on your best behavior in that space. I get it now. When
I tell you, in our living room, my mother had an all-white living room. I was like, I don't even know why. Like, legitimately, like, we couldn't sit. And it's not like she was, like, old school, like, plastic on the furniture type. She wasn't none of that. Just white couch, white carpet, white everything. And you be looking at it like, I sure would like to sit down. I sure would like to take a seat. I'm a little tired. Yeah, no. The living room was not for the sitting. Like, that was for when you hosting something and you want somebody to, that's it. You don't sit up in there.
Yes, that's where you host. That's when my mother made it very clear. And I didn't understand that concept until hosting people in my home. And I was like, I give people the craziest look. Like, hey, you walking kind of sloppy with that drink in your hand. Is that wine? You got wine? You walking around? I got light furniture.
Are you wobbling?
I got light furniture. But you wobbling? You need something to hold your drink? But see, it's a part of growing up. We didn't understand these things. Now the grown woman in us is protecting that.
We do
peace.
now.
I understand the peace.
I got another one. I got one more. We do. I got one more. That I'm wearing now. This bad boy right here. A good candle. When I would walk in the house, I would smell apple, cinnamon, and almond, and all type of stuff. I'd be like, why does it smell like we bake pies and peach cobbler in this house? Like, this is crazy. Open up a window. What are you doing? Where now, you could walk in one room and it smells like Jamaica. You walk in another room, it smells like a biscuit. You walk in another room, you smell like lavender. It don't matter. Like, I'm burning candles, incense, all type. You don't know what you gonna walk into.
Yeah. Candles, incense, Glade plug-in, and Febreze, the Spritz one that just automatic timer. I love all of it. I think that I have so much joy candle shopping. Y'all ever just pop out to a Burlington or a TJ Maxx and just go through a Home Goods and just grab some candles?
Hold on.
And just
You
grab
ever
some
seen
candles?
Bath and Body be on sale?
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
that does it now. When Bath and Body Works is on sale and they ship online for free.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I said you only know the beauty in that magic
Champagne
when you get
toast.
to the grown woman part of life that you just want to access the soft life, right? Is when you can enjoy a good candle. You have to be
What?
this type of grown. So a candle is pure joy. I'm gonna tell you something. I was making candles a few years ago. I was up here just whittling with my little
Want I tell
spoons.
you?
Like,
Don't nothing hit your heart harder when you hit that lighter to light that candle. And you be like, ah.
ooh, ooh. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got the thing to light the candle, and I got the candle warmer. Like I said, the candles just gotta be heated up, and it gotta be on smell good. You
With the
can't even walk a
wax?
step
You
up
got the
in here
wax.
without. Got the wax. What?
You got the wax.
See, this message was brought to you by candles. Light one, burn
Don't
one.
lie.
Make it smell
Seriously.
good.
All the time.
Like,
All the time. Whenever you're stressed, light a candle.
that's all I'm saying. Yeah,
Well, friend.
you know, that lavender.
Well, friend, you ready to send them out?
Yes, 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 yes. Homie with the mostest. So as you already know, this was another episode of Who Woke the Savage. I'm your girl, Miss Swollen Woke, kicking it with the homie Lady.A.Savage. We need y'all to follow us across the social media spectrum. If you like what you heard, if you want to DM because you got questions, if you want to be featured in a conversation or a chat and you want to hear your question brought to you live, real time on these good Thursdays, slide in the DM because it goes down in the DMs that we already know.
It sure does. And with any Savage question, y'all already know. Hit your girl up and I got y'all. And anything you want to hear, we here for y'all. And like my girl always say, we love y'all for free.
For free. Deuces.